message is pretty dire, ladies and gentlemen. I spent quite a long time laying awake last night thinking about the condition of our country, frankly. I'm very concerned about what we're facing. I'm very concerned about the directions that we're headed with regard to the unemployment figures. Associated Press is now reporting, this just came out yesterday, new jobless claims rise unexpectedly to 480,000 as layoffs continue. Jobs remain scarce. They say the number of newly laid off workers filing initial claims. So this isn't repeat. This is a new claims for jobless benefits. They rose unexpectedly last week, evidence that layoffs are continuing and jobs remain scarce. The rise in the fourth in the past 5 weeks. Now, see, they were telling us before, not too long ago, that, hey, unemployment is falling off. Hey, the trend is downward, and maybe if the trend gets low enough, companies will actually start to hire again. And I remember telling you folks, it's nonsense. Don't believe it. It's propaganda. They're deceiving you. They're lying. And now it comes out that the government has revamped the unemployment numbers. They're saying the Department of Labor said Thursday that new claims for unemployment insurance rose by 8,000 to a seasonally adjusted 480,000. Wall Street economists had expected a drop to 460,000, according to Reuters. Anyway, the 4-week average, which smooths fluctuations, this is an average, rose from the third straight week to 468,750 jobs. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are positions that are never going to be back in this country. These jobs have left, and they've left for a reason. They've left because of the entanglements that we have around the world through the World Trade Organization, through these international treaties. I sound like a broken record, but I'm going to keep saying it until somebody takes notice. Our state lawmakers need to take notice. We need to know why the sources are, why we are losing our jobs in this country, and we need to have a reversal of the policies that put us in this place. Obama can get on television and say all this nonsense about, well, we need to get these deficits under control, and we need to do this, and we need to do that, and he turns around and introduces a $3.8 trillion budget, listeners. $3.8 trillion. Reuters is reporting, and I'm aware we have Larry on the line, and we'll get to you, Larry, in a moment, so hang with me here. But Reuters is reporting now, I'm only going to read one paragraph. Annual revisions to the payrolls data show job losses since this recession began, and they're still calling it a recession. See, they're saying, because unemployment, the percentage was at 10.2. I remember reporting that on the show. Then, now they're saying it's fallen below 10%. Now it's at 9.7 or 9.8 or something like that. Okay, so the percentage points mean nothing. Because I'll tell you right now, it's like I was telling my wife last night. Why isn't this percentage point in the 21, 22, or even higher percentage? Because we know good and well unemployment is at least at that level. The only thing I can say is they're going by numbers that are people that are presently on the unemployment rolls. They're not including a lot of things in that number, and the people that, and this thing has been going on now for at least 2 years. And so consequently, we have a lot of people falling off the rolls even as more are added. And so those initial people who are applying for unemployment benefits are not even being counted anymore because they're ineligible. But Reuters is saying annual revisions to the payrolls data show job losses since the recession began were much deeper than originally thought. The economy has lost, now get this, folks, the economy has lost 8.4 million jobs since the start of the recession in December of 2007 compared to 7.2 million before the revisions. Okay, 7.2 million is enough. We've lost over 8 million jobs, almost 8.5 million jobs in this country in a little more than 2 years. This is the global economy, listeners. Welcome to the New World Order, the New World Economic Order, where the United States is tanked by design, where the developed countries are brought down, where the developing countries, well, supposedly are brought up, but that's really happening, isn't it? We look around us as we see more and more. These people are just not being brought up out of anything. They're being exploited. Their work is being, they're turned into global slaves. And we can't compete in this country with slave labor no matter how hard we try. It's never going to happen. The United States will cease to exist as a nation. That's just where we're headed, folks, unless these policies, which put us in this mess, are reversed. Now, a lot of things are happening. There are a lot of good things to feel good about. We have animal ID. You know, the USDA seems to be backtracking to a certain extent on that. Who knows how far that's going to be? You know, I'm sure this is just they're re-engineering their strategy. Cap and trade. You know, they haven't given up on that idea. It's in the budget. There's a placeholder in the budget for cap and trade. But the point is that when we see the whole carbon market thing is falling apart. It's falling apart in Europe. Europe's apparently looking at possibly abandoning this cap and trade thing they got going on. Whether or not that happens, I don't know. There's a lot of banks involved in the process. So there's a lot of very powerful people making a lot of money off of this monetizing of air and pollution, so-called pollution. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take Larry in Texas.